Hey everybody, my name is Chantelle Taylor. So excited to be chatting with you this afternoon. So myself and my friend Anthony Simmons, we're just going to, go through a couple of things with you, share with you our personal experiences with ketones, how they work into our day-to-day life, what we're doing to utilize them, and how we're able to, get better workouts, follow a better lifestyle as far as eating goes, and kind of share the conversation of how we've come from our before to now our better. So I'm going to let Anthony start with his story. Tell us where you started and, what it is that ketones do for you. And then I can tell you guys all about my story.
Awesome. Awesome, guys. So, yeah, when this whole conversation started with, ketones, ketosis, I didn't know much at all about the ketogenic lifestyle. It really didn't make sense to me when I heard about eating fat, eating healthy fat. But when I was actually introduced to it, it was because a good friend of mine, he actually talked about this company, Pruvit, and these exogenous, like ketones that you can drink from outside the body. And I really ignored him for, a few months. And it's kind of funny because he's a great friend of mine, but it took 6 months of him talking to me about these benefits of better sleep, better energy, more focus, and fat loss. He started talking about these things. And over a night of eating chicken wings, I'm not sure if the way to my head is through my stomach, but he got my attention, and he introduced me actually to this package of Keto OS. At that point, it was just the Orange Dream flavor is our ketone operating system, and that was the first time I've ever experienced ketosis or learned about it. He actually sent me home with a few packets, and I tell you what, before that meeting, I was tired, I was exhausted because I was working multiple jobs, running a business of my own, plus working for a department clothing store. I had two girls at home, just had a third one born. And I just, I wasn't at a place where I wanted to be. I didn't have the energy. I didn't have the patience. Financially, yes, I had enough, but I could always want more. It was just all these things going through my head. And the very first day I drank this product, the next morning it hit me, and it hit me hard. I lit up. I had energy. I had focus at work. And over time, as I started to learn more about this low carb lifestyle, this high healthy fat eating, I started to notice that that energy kind of transferred from just being at work to actually coming home. I was spending more time with my kids. I had more patience. I was in a better mood. I was playing games with them. I was having fun with them. And so little by little, I started to learn more about the benefits of being ketosis, about this ketogenic lifestyle. And I started to love this product, Keto OS.
That's so awesome. So Anthony, when you started, were you just drinking one packet a day? Did you start with just drinking the ketones, or were you eating the food, or like, how did you start integrating it to your lifestyle? Because I know my story is a little bit backwards for most people. So I'd kind of like to hear like what it was that kind of got you going where you're like, okay, I can make this a lifestyle.
Okay, so in the very beginning, yes, I was eating food, but I was not eating ketogenic food. I didn't know much about the low carb or the high fat lifestyle. So I wasn't eating ketogenic. This product was actually my first time ever experiencing ketones since I was a baby. But I learned to love the product. And little by little of drinking the product, I started to dive more into the lifestyle. And right off the bat, I started eating ketogenic. And for some people that can be simple. For others, maybe we dig too much into it and we can find it to be more of a challenge. So I started to teeter-totter between this ketogenic and this low carb lifestyle. And I kind of find myself somewhat in the middle there. I believe a lot of people call it keto-ish. They don't really count their macronutrients and all that good stuff. But what I loved is this has kind of been like that life preserver, because it's kind of kept me at that point where if I do make a mistake, if I don't eat full ketogenic, I can still experience those benefits of being in ketosis. So it's been a transition for myself. I truly love to follow the low carb lifestyle more so than just full ketogenic. And through the product, I can still reach that state. So that's kind of my
Totally,
eating method.
totally. So I'm kind of the same way. When I got started, I started with drinking ketones every day. And I actually started with the Maui Punch flavor. When I joined in and started following this way of living, we had 3 flavors, actually 4. We're probably the 4th one was just released as I was getting started. And so, you look at Anthony had the Orange Dream, and then when I was introduced, we had Orange Dream, Chocolate Swirl, Maui Punch, and then Swiss Cacao had just come out. So, you know, it's kind of fun now looking at our variety of flavors and all we have to offer now. So it's a really cool, you know, transformation, even just from a company point of view. But I'm the same. I started drinking the product. And for me, I was looking for energy. Like, I didn't even realize at that time I was looking for fat loss, to be honest. I was introduced to it because I was telling a friend of mine, like, oh my goodness, I'm so tired all the time. I have a 2.5-year-old at home and a 6-month-old. And like, how are you supposed to do this thing where you're like living and keeping people alive every day?
Yes.
And she said, you know what, just try this. And I did. And it was legit the very first day. I was like, something changed. I have energy and I felt so much, like they say heightened mood is one of the benefits. But like, I actually can say I had a heightened mood. Like, I was like, I like this. Like, how much of this can I drink a day? You know, I just felt like this is so easy. And because it's just powder you mix to water, it's simple. I can't come up with an excuse not to do it. Right. And so for me, that was the beginning of my journey. Like, within the first couple of days, I was just like, energy. Wow, I love this. I was being able to make the beds again every day and clean up the house and feel good about it. Right. And then, you know, it transitioned into about 30 days in. I was noticing my clothes were getting a little bit more loose, and I was like, I wonder what's happening. And I just kept drinking this every day. And it was just so simple for me as a mom, busy mom, working full time. Like, the day after my son was born, I've always worked for myself as well. And so I didn't have the opportunity to have like maternity leave of any sorts. And so I was right back in the grind of things. And so I needed that extra I needed that extra energy. And so it was just an exciting transition for me to be able to see that happening for myself. And then, yeah, like, just over time, we slowly integrated the low carb, high fat lifestyle. It's not something that we did from the beginning. Like, I didn't even know, you know, I started drinking ketones. I didn't know this was a way of eating. I didn't know this was a lifestyle change. I just thought, well, I'm going to drink this because it tastes phenomenal and I'm doing really well with it, right? And then it was interesting because as I got to know Anthony and a couple of our other friends, Steve and Stephanie, I started listening and hearing, okay, so you eat a little bit different or you don't have as many carbs. Okay, I can handle that. And I was able to slowly go, okay, I go from 2 slices of toast with breakfast to 1, to a half, down to, you know what, I don't even want that stuff anymore because it doesn't make me feel good, right? And so for me, the transition was just over time. Like, honestly, it took months, and there's still times where I go, oh, we shouldn't have maybe made that food choice because it wasn't perfect. But we don't go for perfect. We'd go for, you know, what's the best option that I have for me today? And I'm just aware of my carbs. I don't track. I don't count them. I got little kids still. For me, that's just not where I'm at right now. And so, yeah, we eat low carb, we eat high fat. I love having avocado every day, have my MCT oil every day. And it's great because with this, even when I'm not having a perfect day or I'm traveling and the airport does not have food that is really good for me, I can have one of these and just know that I'm staying on track. And so for me, I've had every benefit that I really think the box lists off, from better sleep to better mood to fat loss. I've had it all. And I'm not saying that because, oh, everybody should drink ketones. I'm saying that because that's like real life for me. And when you go back and you look at the photos and then you see where I'm at now, it's so exciting to see that transition. And then in turn, now being able to help other people do the exact same thing. Like, being able to have people reach out to me and say, okay, I'll give it a shot. And then coming back within a week or two and being like, oh my gosh, this is real. This is 1, easy, and 2, it's working for me. So that's been my journey. And then just on a side note, like, I always say that kids are the best way of telling you if something is good. Like, I don't know about you, Anthony, but my kids love drinking ketones. They don't drink a full serving. They don't have it like all the time, but from time to time, they'll grab my shaker bottle and they'll have ketones and they love it. They love the flavor. They always say, oh, is this the strawberry one or the raspberry one, mommy? And they just love it. And knowing that it's safe for them as a mom makes me feel so good, knowing that I'm making a good decision, not only for myself, but it's safe for them. So that's kind of the background of my personal story. And seriously, this story and this journey continues all the time. Now I go to the gym almost every single day because I have this energy and I have this drive to just be 1% better, like, every single day. So that's where I'm at. I don't know what else I could add to that. I tend to ramble. I get excited when I'm talking about ketones, but it's real and it's easy.
I think that's really cool. And I loved how you talked about that 1% better every day, because there's a few things that pop into my head when I talk about or hear about Pruvit and kind of where it's come from and where it's going. And one of the things is you brought up the flavors. And I think it's so awesome because there's so many different flavors now. This is a small variety here, but as far as the taste quality, where it started and where it's going, it's truly amazing. For our customers that want to drink the product, they can actually get the product for free. Like we have a free product program. So I know there's tons of individuals that reach out that say, I want to try this out, but maybe, I don't want to spend any money on it. How can I get the cost reduced? All these different things. Well, you can get it for free. So I would love for people to take more advantage of that. And also just back to that 1% better, how every so often I hear individuals say, you can't replace a good diet or good lifestyle with a product. And I get that. I get where you're coming from. But what I love is how I talked about how this can kind of be like that life preserver, because for a lot of people, it can be a challenge to make better lifestyle like decisions and choices, whether it's dealing with food, maybe it's dealing with fitness, maybe it's dealing with, emotional, how they handle their life. And I love what ketones do for that. I love that it helps suppress the appetites so I can make better decisions when it comes to eating. I love how it puts me in a better mood so I can have more patience with my kids. I love all these different things. And I feel that for those individuals that have that challenge, maybe introducing this into their lifestyle for 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, maybe you decide you don't want to drink it for the rest of your life, and that's okay. Get in when you fit in, and maybe just starting it out for 60 days, it's going to help change the trajectory, say the word, that the direction you're going in your life, just by a 1 degree angle, by 1%. And over time, that can be a milestone of a different lifestyle for you. So I just encourage you all, if you're looking at this product, if you're looking at this lifestyle, maybe let this be just an easier way for you to get started, to get you over the hump, to get you over the fence. And once you experience ketones, I tell you what, you're not going to want to go back, whether it's through the lifestyle or through the product, or through both, like Chantelle and I are doing. I think truly the best is yet to come in your life. And I would just say, just give it a shot. So there's lots of ways to get started. It can be through a 5-day experience. Some people don't want to buy a box right away. You want to see what flavor you like the best, if it really is going to work for you. And so we send you a variety of flavors so you can try it out. 5 days worth. Maybe you want 10 days to really give it a hard go, or to have a spouse or friend do it with you. And maybe you just want to jump in and grab a box. Whatever it may be, let us know. Reach out to the person that shared this video with you, and let us know where you want to start and where you want to go and how we can assist. And that's about all I have. But I'm just truly excited to where this conversation is going, where it's taking both of our lives, and where it can take your guys' lives as well.
Absolutely. I have to agree. And when somebody's looking at a 5 or a 10-day experience, I get asked this a lot. Okay, what does that mean? So I'll just go into that in a little bit more depth just to clarify. So when you're doing a 5-day experience or a 10-day experience, with a 5-day, you're actually going to get 5 packets of those ketone packages that Anthony just showed. So you'll get 5, and generally you're going to get a variety. If you order a 10-day experience, you get 10 packets. And that's going to last you for 10 to 11, maybe even 12 days if you start with a half a packet at a time. And you literally just open a packet and add it to water. And then what I always suggest to people is, hey, if you really like the raspberry lemonade flavor, write it down on a Post-it note. So in 5 days when we chat about how you're feeling and how it's going, you remember that was the flavor that you like the best. And then from there, we're going to be able to see where you fit in. Like Anthony said, does it make sense for you to get started for 30, 60, 90 days? Or, are you looking at another opportunity of where this, Pruvit ketone conversation can take you? And so we will dive into that with you. But the 5 or 10-day experience is a great way to just get started. That's how I started, was with a 5-day experience. And here I am now. For me personally, it's 30 pounds down, and it's about 6 dress sizes. And so I encourage you, maybe you don't have fat to lose, but I'm sure you have some muscle to gain, and just that better feeling of like, I want to sleep through the night. We can help you with that with ketones. So I'm excited to connect with anybody who has any questions. I'm happy to help you out, but definitely connect with whoever it is that shared this video with you. We would love to help you along your journey.
Awesome. You guys have a great night.
Bye.
Thanks, Chantelle.